Congratulations if you see this on the 19th of September 2025. It is not an accident. It is not by chance. It is because something inside you is ready to awaken. Most people scroll without awareness, but if you have arrived here today, it is a sign that your life is calling you to take a step higher. Today, I will share with you 4 key lessons that can guide your path. Awareness is the beginning of transformation. So many people pass through their lives without ever truly seeing. They wake up, they repeat the same routines, they go through the same emotions, they fall asleep, and then they wake up again. And in this cycle, they think they are living, but in reality, they are only existing. To live is not the same as to exist. Existing means moving like a machine, repeating patterns that were learned but never questioned. Living means being awake to what you are doing, being present in what you are experiencing, being conscious of the direction in which you are walking. If you are listening to these words today, congratulations, because that means something inside of you has already awakened to the fact that life is not meant to be passed through unconsciously. Life is meant to be lived in awareness. Awareness is like the opening of the eyes after a long sleep. Imagine a person who has been asleep for many years, dreaming, floating in illusions, and then suddenly they wake up, and they see the world as it truly is for the first time. That moment of awakening is not always comfortable. The light feels too bright. The noise feels too sharp. Reality feels heavier than the dream. But at the same time, there is freedom, because when you are awake, you are no longer trapped in illusions. Most people prefer to stay in the dream because it feels safe. It feels comfortable. But the one who chooses awareness chooses growth, even if it is uncomfortable, even if it demands effort, even if it means facing truths that are difficult to accept. Awareness means you begin to notice your own thoughts. It means you realize that not every thought that enters your mind is truly yours. Many of them are borrowed. They come from your upbringing, from your culture, from the opinions of others, from the fears of society. When you are not aware, you mistake these voices for your own. You think you are making your choices, but in reality, you are being controlled by patterns you do not even see. Awareness is the step where you pause and ask yourself, why do I think this way? Why do I act this way? Who told me this is who I am? And in that moment, you begin to see the invisible strings that have been pulling you all along. Congratulations if you reach that point, because it means you are no longer a puppet of life. You are beginning to become the author of your own script. Awareness is not only about noticing your thoughts, but also about noticing your actions. Many people act without realizing why. They eat when they are not hungry. They speak without thinking. They move through their days repeating habits that they never questioned. But when you are aware, you begin to see the automatic movements. You see the way you react when someone insults you. You see the way you avoid responsibility when you are afraid. You see the way you seek comfort when you are uncomfortable. And this seeing is powerful because when you see, you can choose differently. If you are not aware, you cannot change. But the moment you become aware, you have already created a space between impulse and response. In that space lies your freedom. In that space, transformation begins. Awareness is also about feelings. Many people drown in their emotions because they are not aware of them. Anger comes and they become anger. Fear comes and they become fear. Sadness comes and they become sadness. But when you are aware, you do not become your emotions. You notice them. You observe them like clouds passing in the sky. You say to yourself, I feel anger arising. I feel sadness entering. I feel fear whispering. And when you observe in this way, you are no longer a slave to your emotions. You are the witness of them. They may still come, but they no longer control you. Awareness does not mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being controlled by what you feel. That is the beginning of emotional mastery. If today, on the 19th of September 2025, you hear these words and you understand them, congratulations, because it means you are already walking the path of awareness. Many people never start. Many people go through entire lifetimes blind to themselves. They think they know who they are, but they have never truly stopped to look. They mistake their name, their job, their possessions, and their status for identity. But those things are only roles. They are not the self. Awareness is the courage to ask, if all of that was taken away, who would I still be? To stand in front of that question without fear is to be awake. Awareness also extends beyond yourself. When you are aware, you see others more clearly. You notice the pain hidden in their smiles. You notice the weight behind their words. You notice the masks they wear to survive in society. And when you notice, compassion arises. Without awareness, you judge, you criticize, you separate. But with awareness, you understand. You realize that everyone is fighting a battle you cannot see. You realize that the anger of others is often a reflection of their own wounds. You realize that the way people treat you has more to do with their inner state than with your worth. This understanding brings peace. Awareness not only transforms you, it transforms the way you relate to the world. The journey of awareness is not a one-time event. It is not as if you wake up once and then stay awake forever. Awareness is a practice. You fall asleep again and again. And again and again, you must wake up. Each moment is a chance to return to awareness. Each breath is an invitation to come back to the present. And the more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Just as a muscle grows through training, awareness grows through use. The more you observe yourself, the clearer your vision becomes. The more you notice your patterns, the easier it becomes to change them. The more you return to the present, the less power the past and the future have over you. Why is awareness the beginning of transformation? Because you cannot change what you do not see. Imagine trying to improve your posture without ever looking at yourself in a mirror. You may think you are standing straight, but without awareness, you are not. The mirror is awareness. It shows you reality as it is, not as you imagine it to be. Sometimes what you see is not pleasant. Sometimes awareness shows you your weaknesses, your mistakes, your shadows. But even then, it is a gift. Because when you see the shadow, you can work with it. When you see the weakness, you can strengthen it. When you see the mistake, you can correct it. Without awareness, you are blind, and the blind cannot walk a new path. With awareness, you see, and seeing is the first step to walking differently. On this day, 19th of September, remember that awareness is not something outside of you. It is already within you. It is your natural state. A child is born with awareness. Look at how present a child is when they play, how focused they are when they observe a flower or a butterfly. They are completely there, but as we grow, we lose it. We become distracted. We become caught in memories of the past and worries of the future. We become consumed by desires and fears. Awareness gets buried beneath layers of noise, but it never disappears. It is always there, waiting for you to return to it. The practice is simply to remove the noise, to return to simplicity, to return to the present moment, to return to seeing clearly. So if you are here listening on this specific day, take it as a sign. Congratulations, because life has given you this reminder at the right time. Do not ignore it. Do not scroll past it as if it is nothing, because awareness is the seed of transformation, and every great tree begins as a seed. If you water it with practice, if you protect it with discipline, if you nurture it with patience, one day it will grow into something unshakable. Awareness will guide your choices. Awareness will protect your peace. Awareness will lead you to wisdom. And from wisdom, transformation will come. Discipline is stronger than motivation. Many people wait for motivation to appear before they begin anything. They wait for the right moment, the right energy, the right feeling to push them forward. But life does not work like this. Motivation is like a spark. It flares up quickly, but it also fades quickly. If you depend only on motivation, you will start many things but finish very few. You will rise for a moment, but you will fall as soon as the energy is gone. Discipline is what carries you when motivation disappears. Discipline is the steady fire that keeps burning long after the spark has vanished. That is why discipline is stronger than motivation. If you want to build a life of strength, stability, and growth, you must rely not on the temporary spark, but on the consistent fire. Think about this. How many times have you felt motivated to change your life? Maybe you woke up one morning and said, "Today I will exercise. Today I will study. Today I will finally start that project." And in that moment your motivation was strong. But then, maybe the day became heavy, maybe your energy dropped, maybe obstacles appeared. Suddenly the motivation was gone. And without motivation, you stopped. The cycle repeats: inspired one day, silent the next. Excited one day, lazy the next. But discipline breaks this cycle. Discipline means you continue even when the excitement is gone. Discipline means you keep walking even when the road feels heavy. Discipline is the bridge between your intentions and your achievements. In martial arts, this is the foundation of training. A student may feel motivated when they first enter the hall. They may be excited by the movements, the philosophy, the idea of becoming strong. But excitement does not last. When the body begins to ache, when the repetitions feel endless, when the training is no longer new but demanding, that is when discipline is tested. The true student is not the one who trains only when they feel like it, but the one who shows up every day, rain or shine, energy or no energy, motivated or unmotivated. Discipline is the foundation of mastery. Without it, skill does not deepen. Without it, progress does not last. Motivation may start the journey, but only discipline completes it. Discipline is a decision you make with your mind, not a feeling you wait for in your heart. Feelings are temporary, they rise and fall like waves. Discipline is the anchor. When the waves rise, you stay firm. When the waves fall, you stay firm. Discipline says, no matter what, I continue. Discipline is the promise you make to yourself and the promise you keep, not because it feels good, but because it is who you choose to be. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are building strength. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you are building character. Every time you choose discipline over laziness, you are building freedom. Freedom is not the absence of discipline. It is the result of it. Many people think discipline is about restriction, about limiting yourself, about taking away freedom. But the truth is the opposite. Without discipline, you are a slave to your impulses. You are controlled by your moods, by your cravings, by your distractions. One day you feel like working, so you work. Another day you don't, so you do nothing. This is not freedom, it is slavery to emotions. But when you cultivate discipline, you gain control. You are no longer a prisoner of moods. You no longer wait for motivation. You act because you have chosen to act. You are free from the chains of inconsistency. That is true freedom. Imagine someone learning to play an instrument. If they practice only when they feel motivated, they may never progress beyond the basics. But if they discipline themselves to practice every day, even when tired, even when distracted, slowly the skill grows. At first the progress is invisible, but over time, discipline creates mastery. The same is true for every skill, every goal, every dream. Discipline is the silent force that turns small daily actions into extraordinary results. Motivation can give you a start, but discipline will carry you across the finish line. When you wake up in the morning and you do not feel like rising, that is the moment discipline speaks. When you are tempted to waste time, that is the moment discipline speaks. When you are about to give up because the task feels too heavy, that is the moment discipline speaks. And the more you listen, the stronger that voice becomes. Discipline is like a muscle. At first it is weak. At first, it feels painful to use, but the more you train it, the stronger it grows. One day, what was once difficult becomes natural. One day, the things that once felt impossible become easy. Not because motivation returned, but because discipline was built. This is why discipline is stronger than motivation. Motivation is external. It comes from what you see, what you hear, what inspires you in the moment. Discipline is internal. It comes from a decision made deep within you that does not depend on circumstances. The world outside may change, the weather may change, your mood may change, but discipline remains. Discipline is the inner command that says, I will walk this path, no matter what happens. And when you live with this command, your life becomes unshakable. Some people wait for discipline to appear naturally, as if one day they will wake up disciplined. But discipline is not something you wait for. It is something you create. You create it by choosing small, consistent actions every day. You create it by keeping promises to yourself, no matter how small they are. You create it by training your body and your mind to follow through even when it is uncomfortable. Discipline is built through repetition, not through waiting. Every time you choose to act despite resistance, you are strengthening discipline. Every time you keep going despite excuses, you are becoming stronger. This strength accumulates. Over months, over years, discipline becomes part of who you are. The beautiful thing is this: once discipline is built, you no longer need to fight with yourself as much. At first, every action requires effort. But later, discipline becomes habit, and habit becomes nature. At first, discipline is hard, but later it becomes automatic. The disciplined person no longer needs to force themselves. They simply live in alignment with their choices. That is why discipline is not just a tool, but a way of life. It shapes your identity. You no longer say, I will try. You say, this is what I do. If today, on the 19th of September 2025, you understand this, congratulations. Because it means you are ready to step beyond the weakness of waiting for motivation. It means you are ready to walk into the strength of discipline. Every great achievement in history was not built on motivation alone. It was built on discipline. The artist who paints for decades, the athlete who trains in silence, the monk who meditates for hours, the student who studies through the night, they are not carried by temporary sparks. They are carried by discipline. And so can you. Do not wait for motivation to save you. Do not wait for inspiration to strike. Begin with discipline. Build it slowly, build it daily, build it with patience. Even if progress is invisible, trust the process. Because one day, you will look back and realize that discipline has carried you further than motivation ever could. Motivation may give you a reason to start, but discipline will give you the strength to finish. That is why discipline is stronger. And that is why if you choose discipline today, you are already transforming your tomorrow. Struggles are teachers disguised as obstacles. Every human being wishes for a life without pain, without resistance, without setbacks, but such a life does not exist. Even if it did, it would not make you grow. Struggles are the hidden lessons of existence, and they arrive not to destroy you, but to prepare you. If you look carefully at the moments that have shaped you the most, they are rarely the easy ones. It was not when everything was comfortable that you discovered your strength. It was not when the road was smooth that you discovered your courage. It was in the dark nights, when you felt you could not continue, that you found an inner light. It was in the times of rejection, failure, and hardship that you were forced to go deeper within yourself to find resources you did not know you had. This is why struggles are not enemies, but teachers in disguise. The mind often resists this truth. It wants the path of least resistance. It wants comfort, safety, certainty, but growth never happens in those places. A tree grows stronger when the wind pushes against it. A muscle grows stronger when it is challenged by weight. The spirit grows stronger when life challenges it with struggle. If the tree never faced the wind, its roots would remain shallow. If the muscle never carried weight, it would remain weak. If the spirit never faced challenges, it would remain fragile. The very thing you try to avoid, the struggle, is the thing that deepens you, strengthens you, and reveals who you are. When you are in the middle of struggle, it is easy to curse it. You may ask, why me? Why now? Why this pain? But if you shift your perspective and ask instead, what is this trying to teach me? What lesson is hidden here? What strength am I meant to develop? Then the struggle transforms. It no longer feels like punishment. It becomes training. It becomes preparation. It becomes a silent guide shaping you for the future you cannot yet see. Many times in life, you will only understand the meaning of a struggle when you look back. In the present, it feels unbearable. In the future, you will see it was necessary. Think of the seed that is buried underground. In darkness, in pressure, in silence, it struggles to break open. If you saw the seed at that moment, you might think it was dying. But in truth, it is transforming. The struggle of breaking is necessary for growth. Without that pressure, without that resistance, it would never push through the soil to reach the light. The same is true for you. Your struggles are the soil. They cover you, they weigh on you, they press against you. But if you endure, if you allow the process, you will rise stronger, taller, more alive than before. There is a story in nature of the butterfly. When it is still in the cocoon, it struggles to break free. To the outside observer, the struggle looks painful, unnecessary, cruel. Sometimes, people try to help by cutting open the cocoon to make it easier. But when that happens, the butterfly emerges weak, unable to fly, because it is the very struggle of breaking the cocoon that strengthens its wings. Without the struggle, it cannot survive. Life works the same way. If you were rescued from every difficulty, if every obstacle was removed, you would remain weak, unprepared, unable to fly. Struggles give you wings. They are not here to crush you. They are here to shape you into who you must become. When you face a struggle, you are also given a choice. You can see it as a wall that blocks you, or as a door that teaches you. If you see it as a wall, you stop. You feel trapped. You feel defeated. But if you see it as a door, you search for the key. You search for the lesson. You search for the strength that will open it. And in the act of searching, you grow. Struggles are doors, but they are disguised as walls. Only the one with awareness sees the truth. Only the one with patience discovers the hidden lesson. The most dangerous struggles are not always the visible ones. They are not always physical hardships or external challenges. The greatest struggles are often internal. The struggle against fear, the struggle against self-doubt, the struggle against laziness, the struggle against anger, the struggle against hopelessness. These are battles no one else can see, but they shape your life more than any external obstacle. Every day, you are given chances to strengthen yourself through these inner struggles. Every time you choose discipline over laziness, you grow. Every time you choose courage over fear, you grow. Every time you choose patience over anger, you grow. The internal victories may be invisible to others, but they are the foundations of your destiny. If today, on 19th of September 2025, you are in the middle of struggle, congratulations. Not because it is easy, but because it means you are in training. It means life is preparing you. It means you are being shaped for something bigger. Struggles are not accidents. They are not random. They arrive with precision, with timing, with purpose. The question is not whether you will face struggles, but whether you will recognize them as teachers when they come. It is easy to look at successful people and imagine they arrived there without struggle. But if you look deeper, you will see the opposite. Every great leader, every master, every enlightened being has passed through deep struggle. They did not reach their heights despite their struggles. They reached them because of their struggles. The fire that purifies gold is the same fire that purifies the human spirit. Without fire, the gold remains hidden in stone. Without struggle, your potential remains hidden within you. It is the pressure, the challenge, the difficulty that draws out your inner strength. You may think your struggle is unfair. You may look at others and think they have it easier. But everyone receives the struggles they need for their path. What looks easy on the outside may hide struggles you cannot see. And what feels heavy for you now is precisely what is required for your growth. Do not compare your struggles with others. Do not wish for their path. Walk your path with courage. Carry your struggle with awareness. For in the end, it is your unique challenges that will shape your unique strength. Remember this: life never sends you a struggle you are not capable of facing. If it is in front of you, it means you already have, somewhere within you, the strength to overcome it. The struggle is not there to break you, but to awaken you to the strength you do not yet see. Often you think, I cannot handle this. It is too much. But once you pass through, you look back and realize you were stronger than you imagined. The struggle reveals your true capacity. Without it, you would never know. So when life feels heavy, do not ask only for the struggle to end. Ask for the strength to continue. Do not ask for the obstacles to vanish. Ask for the wisdom to learn from them. Do not ask for the path to be easy. Ask for the courage to walk it. Because the one who learns to walk with struggle learns to walk with power. The one who learns to embrace struggle learns to embrace life itself. If you see your struggles only as enemies, you will fight them endlessly and you will grow tired. But if you see them as teachers, you will listen, you will learn, and you will grow wiser. Every struggle has a message. Every obstacle has a lesson. Every pain has a purpose. The question is whether you will pay attention, whether you will listen, whether you will allow the lesson to enter you. One day, you will look back at your life and see that the times you complained about, the times you cursed, the times you thought you could not survive, were the very times that made you who you are. You will be grateful for the struggles you once hated, because without them, you would not have discovered your depth. Without them, you would not have awakened your strength. Without them, you would not be you. That is why struggles are teachers disguised as obstacles. They come dressed as enemies, but if you embrace them, they leave as friends. So remember, the next time you are in pain, the next time you are rejected, the next time you fail, the next time you are tested, congratulations. Because you are being taught, you are being prepared, you are being shaped. And though you may not see it now, the lesson will reveal itself. The obstacle is not here to stop you. It is here to guide you. Struggles are not curses. They are blessings in disguise. And if you embrace them with awareness, they will transform you into someone unshakable, someone strong, someone alive with wisdom.